I'm Jerome from the ISC. I just want to give you a little food for thought again, a little nugget that I've often thought about. Um, when I was a young man, many a times when I first gave my life to God, I prayed this prayer, as many of you all probably have. Use me, Lord. Use me in a mighty way. I'm willing, I'm ready, I'm available. Use me, oh God. Use me to do your will. And then one day I was sitting around and I was reading about Lazarus and the rich man. And it is probably the best story in the entire Bible that depicts what hell is really like, or a portion of it. As that rich man had lifted his eyes into hell, and then on earth as Lazarus, who lays who laid at the rich man's gate, begging for alms and asked to even eat the breadcrumbs that fell from the rich man's table, and the rich man was dressed in fine scarlet and purple and thin linen and stuff like that. And then there came a day when Lazarus died, and he was carried into Abraham's bosom, and the rich man died and lifted his eyes into hell. And then the rich man, um, pleaded with Abraham, Father Abraham, I pray that Lazarus dip his finger in a drop of water, and so that they may cool, you know, and let it drop onto my tongue because I'm being tormented in these flames and everything. And then he also asked, and then, Abraham went on to explain there's a great gulf fix between us and stuff. And then he asked, for him to let him come back if one should return from the dead, so he can tell the rest of his brothers not to come to that place of torment. And Abraham pretty much told him, he has Moses and the prophets, and if he will not listen to them, he's not going to listen to one, even if they rose from the dead. Now, I told that story kind of quickly because I want to tell the rest of it kind of quickly. Because how many times in your life, in your Christian walk with God, have you looked up into heaven, or have you been praying and said, use me, Lord, use me, use me, God, at any cost, any way you see fit, use me, Lord. I want to be used by you. And I think we need to, as I get older, I think that we need to watch how we pray, because after I've given this much consideration, I, of course, I can honestly cowardly say that I say, use me, Lord, but have mercy on me, because I got to be honest with you. I think about Lazarus, and as a young man, he may too have looked up into heaven and said as well, use me, Lord, in a mighty way. Use me, Lord, any way that you see fit. I just want to be used by you in a mighty way. Well, he was. He was used to depict hell and the afterlife probably better than any other story in the Bible, especially about hell. And, you know, you may be able to sit there with your self righteous self and say, well, I would have also, you know, I would have took Lazarus' place, and, he got to go to heaven. Yeah. Well, as I said about the guillotine vision I had, that's easier said than done. When you're laying there and you're starving to death, you would probably about do anything, anything for just a bite of bread, for just a morsel of food, for just a one beef jerky, whatever, piece of chicken thrown your way. What? I mean, you would about do anything. So I just want to throw that nugget out there at you that when you pray to God, sometimes you need to thank God for the prayers that He don't answer, because I'm not so sure I would have wanted to be used as Lazarus was used. I'm not so sure I would have wanted to have starved to death to to depict the best version of hell that's probably in the Bible. And he was used in a mighty way, and he was blessed beyond measure. But on earth, he probably couldn't see it, just as we couldn't. So don't sit there with your self-righteous self thinking, "Oh, I would have done it in a heartbeat." No, you wouldn't have, because you haven't been there. But anyway, just give that some thought. And when you pray, be careful about how you pray, and ask God to teach you to pray with wisdom and understanding. And I always ask God to have mercy on me when I pray for such things as that, because it scares me, quite frankly, because I don't mind being used. I don't mind dying for God, but to be used the way Lazarus was used is really a horrifying thought. But he was used in a mighty way. Anyway, think about that the next time you pray. That, because I'm sure, especially all new Christians, have prayed that at one time or another. Good day and God bless you.